Welcome to Esports Weekly with Coca-Cola. Every Friday we bring you essential news, top headlines, and in-depth discussion from the world of esports. On today's show, we cover the biggest announcements from Blizzcon, preview the Frankfurt Dota 2 Major, and talk to Sir Scoots and Fifth Laren about the crazy world of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This is Esports Weekly with Coca-Cola. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Esports Weekly with Coca-Cola. As always, let's recap the week's news with a refresh. SOS was crowned the StarCraft 2 World Champion after defeating Life 4-3 in an intense 7-game set at the WCS Championship at Blizzcon. SOS ended up winning $100,000 in his second WCS Champion title, the first repeat BlizzCon champion in StarCraft history. This matchup actually featured two prior WCS champions, as SOS previously won in 2013 and Life in 2014. Life played extremely aggressively throughout the series, but SOS's defensive play barely won out in the end. Blizzard is expected to make announcements for the 2016 SE2 WCS soon. Osaka won the Hearthstone World Championship at BlizzCon 3-0 over Hotform, claiming $100,000 for first place. He defeated tournament favorite Tice 3-2 in the semifinals in what Amaz called the Series of the Year, narrowly avoiding a comeback victory by Tice. In an interview with us, Osaka called it the closest match he's ever played and said that he maybe had a slight advantage due to his deck choices. Cloud9 became the first Heroes of the Storm World Champions after defeating a surprisingly strong Team Dignitas 3-0 in the finals at BlizzCon. Cloud9 only dropped one game en route to their $200,000 first place prize. This caps the end of an incredibly dominant second half of the year for the team. They started 2015 as heavy underdogs to Tempo Storm, a squad that really has been underperforming as of late. And finally, in non-BlizzCon news, Alliance Armada won the Smash Summit last weekend and took home the largest Super Smash Bros. Melee prize pool of all time, winning $11,525. He knocked out Cloud9 Mango in the finals before Mango had a chance to reset the bracket with the series win, but it was close. Mango's Falco, considered very weak against Armada's Peach on paper, still managed to get within one hit on the last stock of the last game in the set. The event was viewed very positively by the community, and behind the summits, David Gorman tweeted out, "Gotta say, we've done 3 Dota 2 summits and Smash Summit blew them all away." That's all for this week's refresh. As always, hit us up on Twitter with the hashtag Esports Weekly to let us know what you thought of this week's esports news. And we're going to be headed to IEM San Jose to cover the event, so jump on Twitter and let us know what you want to see us cover there. Hey everyone, I'm Kevin Naki, joined alongside by this week's special guest host, Alex Golden Boy Mendez. Now, Esports Weekly was at BlizzCon over the weekend in Anaheim. Amazing show. There was a lot of huge competitions and announcements. Now, of course, I'm sure all of you out there would have loved to have had a taste of what it was like to be at BlizzCon. So we made a nice little video for you recapping what that was like. Check it out.
What's up, everyone? Kevin Naki here for Esports Weekly with Coca-Cola, and we are at BlizzCon all weekend long, and there's a lot of big esports news that we want to talk about.
The Heroes of the Storm team presents to you the Arena. This is a mode with not a lot of game rules. You're going to be given 3 randomly selected heroes to choose from. You're going to choose a single hero, a single heroic ability, and jump right into battle on a small, dangerous, single objective battleground.
So if you like exploration and danger and ruined temples and a bunch of awesome new cards, you are going to like this.
So obviously there was a brand new expansion, a new adventure that was just announced by Blizzard. How do you think they're going to play out?
We know it's going to be an adventure, so a little bit smaller than the main set. Seems like they have a very interesting mechanic. They give the player more choices, and depending on the situation, they need to choose the best one for every game.
Initial reactions is I'm really excited. There's a lot of cards I feel like are completely different than the type that we have right now. There's a new mechanic called Discovery and lots of RNG-ish type of cards. I mean, there's no other way to describe it, and that's always exciting.
The randomness brings in a little more interest to the casual player, and it's also making it more strategic for the advanced player. It's still too early to tell if the Discover mechanic is exactly going to do that, but I think it's a step in the right direction, and it's what Hearthstone really needs.
Ysera awakens 5 damage to clear the board, swipe to Elki's face, and Daniel Negreanu is going to win our show match.
I'm having a blast. I just finished my match right here. I went in as a big underdog against this big-time gamer in Elki, you know, StarCraft genius and whatever, and I'm shocked that I won.
I think you guys had a wager, right? What was that?
It was like basically a bet. Like I have to cosplay as a Sludge Venture, like the next PCA if I lose. So that sucks.
That sucks. I cannot wait for that. I'm going to tune in for the coverage just for that. We know there's a lot of changes coming down the line for WCS and the way that things are going to be structured. Are you really excited about the direction of StarCraft next year?
I've been very vocal in the past about, the way Blizzard has handled WCS, and I could say full-heartedly that I support the direction they're taking WCS, and their overall mindset has improved tenfold over the last year, and I hope they continue to push hard in that direction.
What is your favorite esports moment of all time?
Back at BlizzCon 2013, where Jaedong beat Deer in the semifinals of BlizzCon.
WCS Toronto, those finals, tempo up on stage, singing "Thank You Day 9" to Day 9. Just watching Sean get so excited, so moved by it, and just the whole crowd had just so much energy and so much passion.
Thijs is looking at 15 damage right now on the board. He knows that if there's even one more point of damage available for Ostkaka next turn, playing the Ysera here would cost him the game.
Your reactions to the match between Ostkaka and Thijs. That was a crazy semifinal. What'd you think about it?
Oh man, I actually casted that series, and it was the best series of 2015.
Thijs was heavily favored. You had a very close matchup against him in the semifinals. Tell me a little bit about that and what you think gave you the advantage there.
I think that Thijs was probably the closest series I've ever played in Hearthstone, the semifinals here. He's an amazing player, of course. I think probably the best, maybe after me. We're pretty close.
Well, you've got Team DK here in a bit. How you feeling about that?
We're feeling good going into this match. We're ready for it.
Probably 50% on the core, 20%. They're falling low, but they're so heroes of the storm. World champions defeating Team Dignitas 3-0 in a massively well-played game. GG!
My last question then is your one bold prediction for 2016 in all of esports. What do you think is going to be the one big story?
Media and TV. Blizzard have been working with ESPN. Turner's just announced their CSGO league. So we just had a few media companies come in when everybody else wakes up, and I don't think it will be that far. Esports is going to look very bright for professional players of the future.
Of course, we asked all of you on social media at the hashtag Esports Weekly to let us know the announcement you're most excited about from BlizzCon. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised the vast majority of people that responded to me said Cho'Gall, of all things. Of all the announcements at BlizzCon, Cho'Gall was the one thing that they were excited about. And I think it's really cool, don't get me wrong. I mean, it requires 2 people to play him, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, I think Cho'Gall was just a pleasant surprise for a lot of people, and that's why they're very excited. But you know what, though? Again, not to be a broken record, but I am so excited for anything and everything that entails the land of Overwatch.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
so excited. Actually, I was really pumped for the Overwatch Origins edition because you actually got to get a glimpse of the backstories of each character. They had Reaper, who actually you discover is a Hispanic guy, and I was like, hey, I'm Hispanic. This is awesome. I was really pumped about that. And who knows, one thing that also excited me was just Blizzard's whole commitment to the backstory of Overwatch. I'm just so
they do
excited
lore better than almost anyone else, though.
I know. Yeah. It's just going to be so amazing. But you know what, though? We also want to know what you guys are excited about on the Twitters. So let's go ahead, kick it off with Brandon Stork, who said, complete revamp of the SC2 ladder and the various changes and additions coming to Legacy, such as covert ops. That actually was a pleasant surprise at BlizzCon.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of esports announcements out of StarCraft 2, but we did find out about these cool new missions that they're going to be adding on into Legacy of the Void. Then we had also Bobo Meloshia 18 say, Tracer in Blizz Heroes, hashtag accent for days. That's right. We knew Overwatch Heroes were going to be coming to Heroes of the Storm eventually, right? So it's cool to see that one first. I mean, she kind of is the iconic hero of Overwatch already.
All right. Who do you think is going to be the next hero from Overwatch?
Okay, so is it who I want to be or who do I think it's going to be?
I have my opinion. Who do you want?
Okay, so right now, the hero that I've been having the most fun with is one of the new ones from BlizzCon, and that is Genji. I want to see a freaking robot ninja hero inside of Heroes of the Storm.
I want to appreciate our tank brethren.
Okay.
And I want either Zarya or Reinhardt to make their way into Heroes.
Zarya would be awesome. Zarya would be such a good hero.
How great of a support tank she would be, right? I just absurd, but yes, I love Heroes of the Storm and love Overwatch. So, of course, thank you guys so much for sending in your answers. Next weekend, though, we're going to be at IEM San Jose covering League of Legends and CSGO. big tournaments. Super excited for that one. As always, though, make sure you get at us using the hashtag Esports Weekly on Twitter and let us know what you want to see at the event.
And now, let's move on to Dota 2. So this weekend features the kickoff of the Dota 2 major in Frankfurt, where teams are going to be playing for $3 million.
That's a lot of nuts.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of nuts. There's going to be 16 teams overall. 8 teams were invited, including EG, CDEC, Team Secret, and then 8 teams qualified in through regional qualifiers as well. Invictus Gaming was supposed to attend, but unfortunately due to visa issues, they had to be replaced by Newbie Young. But that's been the only weirdness with the team so far.
And we'll see if Newbie Young can actually step it up and surprise some people at this event. So they have a lot of eyes on them, which is very exciting stuff. Now, of course, in the post-international shuffle, because the international consumed a lot of our time and attention, lots of teams have changed up rosters significantly. Now, let's actually go ahead and take a look at some of the stories of these teams and how they all played out. Evil Geniuses, who won the international, and along with it came the largest prize pool in esports history. I mean, again, just, the sheer magnitude of the money is just absolutely insane, right?
Yeah, when you win $6.6 million, you're doing all right for yourself.
You're essentially a millionaire at that point. But since then, though, they've kicked Aoi from the team, picked back up Arteezy, and you know what, though? They've had some extremely inconsistent results.
They really have.
Very surprising from the champions of the international. They dropped out first round at ESL New York, which caught a lot of people off guard. But you know what, though? They did make it to the final, right, in MLG New Orleans against Team Secret. They ended up losing that one, though, 3-1. Again, not something you'd expect out of this world champion caliber team.
Yeah, after that round 1 loss at ESL 1 to Vegas Squadron, they actually said, thank you. We needed that wake-up call, and hopefully it kicked them into gear. The team has been experimenting with adjusting some players into new positions. Fear has taken a new role. Sumail and Arteezy are kind of swapping out right now as they figure out what actually works in that position in mid. And even with the consistency, I mean, we gotta say, at the end of the day, this is the team that won the International 5, except for just one player that they ended up changing. So they've got to still be strong favorites coming into this event. Now, CDEC, their opponents at the finals at the International 5, have basically done what no other Dota team has done. They haven't changed their rosters at all. They're
Blasphemy.
I know, right? They're completely the same team that they were, and they've been doing all right since the International.
Yeah, and while EG has had fairly inconsistent results, one can argue that CDEC has had very consistent results. CDEC ended up taking 3rd at ESL 1, 3rd at MLG, and 5th at Nanyang. So not bad, but not impressive either. So we'll see. We'll keep a close eye on them, especially going into Frankfurt. Now, Vici Gaming, on the other hand, they dropped their carry player Hao, which is huge, and grabbed the latest up-and-coming star in Dota, Burning from IG. So he's kind of been the talk of the town for a lot of people. So we'll see how that plays out for them. Vici only attended one tournament, though, after the International. That was Nanyang, where they actually ended up getting 2nd place, only losing to Team Secret. And man, I feel like we've been talking about Team Secret quite a bit.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about them too. So let's do that. Do want to mention, though, that Burning, the player who was formerly on IG, has been around for a while, but he has just been playing crazy good lately, so that's why he has been so sought after. Speaking of Team Secret, though, we have to talk about their situation coming into the event. I mean, here was a team who went into the International 5, expected to play very well, if not take the entire event. They had kind of a disappointing 7th place finish there. So they basically scrapped their entire team, only keeping Puppy. They actually ended up shedding Arteezy, Zai Kuroki, and S4. They added 3 players from the old Cloud9 roster. They added 1 player from the 4CL roster, and so they're completely new now. And they have been crushing it! They have been crushing it! They took home the gold at both the MLG World Championships and also the Nanyang Championships too.
Keep in mind, though, I have this theory about new teams. It's called the new car smell. And sometimes you just have teams that click at the beginning. It's like when you buy a car for the first time. You're like, man, this smells amazing. But then, you drop a burger. It starts to smell a little funky. And then over time, we'll see if that ends up happening to Secret. But you know what, though? This is a very promising roster, without a doubt. Now, of course, the week-long Frankfurt Major kicks off today, the November 13th, running all the way to November 21st. Now, you can go ahead and catch all the action at twitch.tv/ESL_Dota2. But here's the thing, it's probably going to be on the front page of Twitch, so you can just go to twitch.tv and see it there anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And for our roundtable this week, we had to talk about what is most likely the esports game of 2015, if we're being totally honest, and that's Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And after being released to a pretty tepid reception, CSGO has just been exploding after languishing for a few years without a lot of success. In mid-2014, it seems like the game just blew up, and ever since then, people around the globe have been playing by the millions lately. It's been picking up some pretty significant steam.
Yeah, and it's pretty.
I'm so funny. Anyway, Valve has been continually updating and adding features to the game, and the results really speak for themselves. And we sat down with Sir Scoots, former founder of GotFrag, esports luminary, overall great guy, and Fifth Laren, former pro player with one of the most legendary win streaks of all time, to talk about the future of CSGO. Here's a bit of the best conversation we had.
Why are we talking about CSGO? I honestly believe that this is the elephant in the room for esports this year. The scene has undergone one of the most dramatic transformations of any game that I've personally witnessed. So let's start right off the bat with that. Why? Why has CSGO become so freaking popular, especially after it had such a tepid release?
Skins.
Yeah, I think. Is it that simple?
All right, guys,
is it that simple?
Wrap it up. When you have a game that has been around for so long, 10 plus years, you need to find a way to reinvent yourself. And when you give the people something, you have to buy the game, but you also have to buy something you can customize, and you can do so much more with it. And on top of that, I'm going to give credits to the devs as well, because they have been really helpful in just really trying to make the game better.
Well, okay, so you've started on the first 2 points that I wanted to bring up, because that's exactly what I've seen as someone who's a little bit of an outsider to this scene. I saw that Valve had incredible dev support. I mean, we've talked about this on a couple of episodes before, but like, kids were basically like, I want to, if I've participated in a DreamHack qualifier once and I finished 32nd place, I want that to be on my profile. And Valve was like, okay, sure, yeah, it's there. So they've done a really good job of responding to the community. But the big part of this game is the skins and the betting and the things that are involved in this scene that aren't just purely the gameplay. And what do you think has actually had a stronger effect on the scene?
Well, I think he makes a very valid point with the skins and the microtransactions and the cosmetics, but I think you do have to pull it back a little bit. The game itself came out in 1999, the first version, so very, very old game. A couple different versions come out over the years, but none as popular as the core game. And then they all kind of went away. 2010, 2011, Source has some tournaments, 1.6 has some tournaments, but really it is going the way of Quake in the esports world, right? So, but meanwhile, all these other new games are growing a brand new fan base. StarCraft 2 comes out, Twitch, Justin TV, the streaming world blows up. Then people that maybe had heard about Counter-Strike are never going to go download 1.6. They're never going to buy Source, but the new version comes out. So I think it grabs some of the old people back. It definitely grabs a whole bunch of new people. And so people got to try this. What is this Counter-Strike? I've heard about it forever, so they get to check it out. Again, when it first came out, those of us that had played it a lot, whether you were Source or 1.6, we were like, oh, no, this is not what either of us want, basically. But to Valve's credit, they listened to a lot of feedback. They cranked out a lot of game changes, and within that, they added the skin system and the marketplace and all that. I think that took it from a popular game to because it was going to be a popular esport again. There's no doubt about it with streaming and everything. But I think the casual market got way more excited about playing it, let alone then maybe involved in the skins and the bettings and the drops and all that for esports. So I think all of that has blown this thing up.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode. Catch the extended roundtable on IGN later next week. Esports Weekly with Coca-Cola returns on Friday with an update of the League of Legends offseason and what we can expect for 2016. As always, hit us up on Twitter by hashtagging Esports Weekly and let us know what you thought of the show and what you want to see us cover at IEM San Jose. We'll see you next week.